I received a bunch of comments in my last two videos, mainly complimenting and asking me just how I made those pages that I showed you guys. So in this video, I'll show you what you need to get started, as well as a step-by-step guide to make pages just like mine for stamps and covers. First things first, the tools. Some are optional, and sometimes you also have two choices to choose from. The first item is obviously a printer. Inkjet or laser, either one works. Inkjet printers are cheaper than laser ones. However, it will end up costing you more in the long run when it comes to keeping it full with ink cartridges. I've got an inkjet one because it's a hand-me-down and it's been doing a great job for the most part. It does leave a few stains occasionally, and sometimes I do have to reprint the page because it's very bad. But in a batch of, let's say, 50 pages, I'd say 2 to 3 need to be reprinted. Also keep in mind, my printer is 10 years old. The second item is paper, but not just any kind of paper. It must be much thicker than standard office printing paper because you'll be putting stamps on it. And even if they are hinged and not mounted, the paper must be thick and strong enough to not bend from the weight of the stamps. There are many brands and weights of paper to choose from, and it comes down to personal preference. I did my research and I went for 147 grams per square meter, or 67 pounds. Be careful though, and don't rely too much on the conversion that is in pounds, since I've noticed that it's not as exact as the grams per square meter measurement. I just chose to include it so that you have and understand both weights when you're looking at what paper to buy. Another important thing regarding the paper is making sure that it's archival. I've only bought reputable brands such as Neenah and Spring Hill, and they're both acid-free, making them archival. Now, there's entire forums that go into what really makes a paper archival, since there's more than just the acid-free factor that makes it so. But the way I see it is, if you're going to be mounting rather than hinging your stamps, which looks much better albeit more expensive, well then the stamps themselves are not even touching the paper. However, if you're going down this path of making and printing your own pages, you'll need proper cardstock paper, and most brands are already archival. While you could save by getting non-archival cardstock, the prices wouldn't change much, since you're mainly paying for the thickness. Finally, color, size, and finish are up to personal preference. But if you're going to be hinging your stamps, make sure the paper isn't a cream color, since the stamps tend to blend with the paper. That's why I mount them, because it's much more appealing to look at. Next thing is to get yourself a binder for all of those pages that you'll be printing. I started off with regular old school binders I had, which worked great. But once I decided to specialize and invest more in the hobby, I went for Unisafe binders for my Bulgaria, Germany, Canada, USA collections, and 2 Lighthouse F binders for my worldwide pages. All binders do the same job, just some can hold more pages, are better at keeping dust away, and staying upright, which is the best way to store your collection. Finally, you also have to choose how you want your pages to be in the binder itself. Do you want to punch holes in your pages, or would you rather use page protectors? Me personally, for my Unisafe binders, since it fits, I use page protectors because it keeps the dust off and does not damage the page every time I open the rings of the binder. However, my Worldwide F binders can't fit a page with a sheet protector, so I must be more careful when opening the rings to add more pages. It's an extra expense, but worthwhile if you're storing more expensive items on paper that isn't the cheapest either. So, now you've got the tools and items to make and prepare pages, but how do you go about making them? Those who already have some experience in album page making might expect me to talk about Album Easy, which is a good software but not an easy one to learn in my opinion. Others think Word is the way to go, but it can be tricky at times, not letting you place images or text where you exactly want it. The way that I've been making them since 2020 is with PowerPoint. It's simpler than Album Easy and much easier to work on with than Word. In most cases, anything can be fixed by simply dragging and dropping. You also don't need to pay anything. Just look up Microsoft 365, make an account if you don't have one already, and go in the PowerPoint tab. From there, you're going to download the file that is located in the description of the video and upload it to PowerPoint. That's your template. You can choose to use a different frame, but you're still going to need to download the file below so you can get this portrait format in PowerPoint rather than the standard landscape one. From there, if you want to make boxes for stamps or postal history items, you create a square and then type format in the search box above. You can then edit the size according to the item you wish to display. Just add anywhere between 3 to 5 millimeters of additional space so that it fits your stamp or cover properly. I tend to go for the higher end for postal history and lower end for stamps. The next step is to simply add titles, text, and images. The best part of making pages yourself is that you decide how you want it to be. It can be colorful, informative, or just simple. If it's postal history that you're making pages for, I use archival photo corner mounts from Lineco, the same brand that sells the acid testing pen I showed earlier. And if you want to show scans of the back of the cover the same way that I do, first scan the item at 600 dpi and then remove the background by using paint.net, which is a free program you download. As always, links will be down in the description. So that's about it. I don't know about you guys, but I personally expected this video to be much longer. However, page making is all about how creative you want to be. If you have any questions, you can always leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer. You can also send me a direct message on Twitter, Instagram, or by email. Please be sure to like and subscribe. My name is Michael and this was a Feature Philately video. Thank you.